Hello everyone. This is Mimi from Mimi's Crafty Shop. Welcome to my channel, and if you're new, thank you so much for watching. I have a bird journal that I have just recently finished, and it is turned out so pretty. I just love the simplicity of how easy this journal was to make. My mom was telling me about these no-sew journals. Well, of course, I investigated it, and I watched Amity Bloom, which most of y'all know who that is, and her name is Nazi or Nazi. I don't know how she pronounces it, but anyway, she is the person that I got the tutorial from. I know there's a lot out there, and people make them differently, and but I thought her tutorial was very easy for me to follow, so I will link that. And anyway, it turned out really pretty, and I kind of like the fact that I didn't have to sew in the signatures. So if you don't have a sewing machine or you don't really know that much about making journals, this would be a very good first journal to tackle. And on here, it's got this little saying, and a lot of my stuff I got from the Graphic Fairy. The reason birds can fly and we can't, it's simply because they have perfect faith. For to have faith is to have wings. And that is so true. And so many times I don't have faith, and I need to have more faith. When you look outside and see the beautiful butterflies and birds flying around and the wonderful flowers that God gave us, and they're just so beautiful, and they only last a little bit, but they just glorify who He is and what God has given us to enjoy. So let me get started on this. I have several of things that I'm going to add to this. I made this little, this is actually a, what do you call this? Not an envelope, but a little sack, a little brown sack, and I've decorated it up. This is a stamp, and made it, and I put some goodies in there. I've gotten some buttons, and that's a vintage little spool of thread, and just different buttons in there. And then I've got some fabric here, some yo-yos, some beautiful rosettes that I'm going to send with this. So I'll show that when we get through. But like I said, I used Graphic Fairy, Sweet Pea Curiosity, Edith Holden pages, the Paper Cameo, Nicola, I think is how she pronounces her name, and Well Loved Journals. So that is Natalie. So these are the journal digitals that I used, if I didn't say that right. This came from the Graphic Fairy, I think. I'm not exactly sure because I've had this for quite some time. And this actually opens up, and you can write on here different things if you want. And I don't think this opens. No, it doesn't. So I did make it where it opened up so you could write your name or whatever through there. And this right here, I thought this page turned out really pretty. I love this, and I use this. It's kind of textured. I don't know if it's what it is really, like grass or something. I got this from somebody, and I just kind of did some layering right there and did a fold out, a couple of fold outs. And then here is some more little bitty goodies I put inside there. There's places to write on this journal, but not just terribly a lot. So I just want to make sure and let you know that if you buy this journal. This right here is just one of those little 1-inch circles, and then I just put one of those covers over it and stuck it on there, and I thought it turned out really pretty. So I will go through this real quickly. I did some stamping on here, which I haven't done stamping in a while. And this, I just kind of did a brad on there and did a bunch of different little ephemera. This was from a bird book. And there's vintage stuff in here, just all kinds of things. This is a beautiful card, and I added a sticker to it. Got those one time when we went up north. And this folds out. Let's see if I can pull this over just a little bit. This is from Well Loved Journals. She has some beautiful digitals. And this right here is a beautiful postcard that I got from Dodie from Vintage Annie Up. She does beautiful collaging, and I always add something in my journals usually that she has done. And here is another fold out. Isn't that beautiful? I just love this collage. Beautiful, beautiful. And then there's another playing card that I fixed up. This is a napkin that I had collaged down there. And this is just some more pretty stuff. I think that's Tim Holtz. And this is Tim Holtz, I'm pretty sure. It says, "Hold on tight to your dreams." And these right here are little paper clips that I did, and they're from the Graphic Fairy. And this little collage I made up here on the side. I love doing those. And this is so pretty. I just, I love taking little tidbits of papers that I have left over and putting them together and making like a little paper collage up. And then this is just a collage I put on there, and some transfers that I used throughout the journal too. Isn't that pretty? This is a little card, a little bluebird. Eastern bluebird. We have beautiful birds in Texas where I live, and that's out of a vintage bird book. But our birds are beautiful, but not near as beautiful as some that are up north. That's some green dyed paper, and I love that picture of that lady. I've been wanting to use that for quite some time. I did a little torn corner pocket. And this is just a little collage, and I've put some vintage quilt paper there. And this came out of a book that my daughter, I gave her at Christmas. It was actually a sticker book, and she loves doing small stuff, so she did this. And I was going to add, most of the birds were real big though, and they didn't really fit in here, but that's French ledger, looks like ledger paper. And this was a postcard, and I just cut it in half. And this came out of a bird book. And this, I don't know where I got this from, but I loved it. But the only thing is this is printed on the back. You know, you could turn it over and use it like that, or use it this way. So it was not printed right, but I didn't actually do that, so I don't know where I got that from. Love this picture right here. And I did some more of the transfers here, and then this is that alcohol ink tape that I like to do. And this was actually a collage that I did on paper, and I just stapled different tidbits of leftover material, which I have tons of that, and lace and everything else. This I made up one day. I thought it was cute. I love yellow. It's one of my most favorite pages. But see how I folded these little papers and glued them on here to make the signature, to make each page, you know, go together. That's how I made this. So it was quite simple to do. but fun. I enjoyed it very much. It's a pretty page too. I haven't been doing a lot of crafting lately. I haven't really felt that good, so I have gotten things out and then just got discouraged and put them up. So that came out of a Rose book that I have. And I did this watercoloring up, tried my little hand at watercoloring, and when I was at my mom's, that came out of a vintage book. And this is really pretty. I think I got that from the Graphic Fairy. It says, "Hear how the birds owe every blooming spray, with joyous music wake the dawning day." Alexander Pope. Another collage, and I did a little sewing with it. And my little watercoloring, a little stamping, and then this is how I put the pages together. There too, and then that's just a cutout, and it says, "A forest bird never wants a cage." And this is one of those cigar things they used to get in the, I think it's cigars. Armor Hammer is kind of like a little collection, things you can collect, different things, birds, just all kinds of stuff that you could collect. I've got quite a few of them, so I'm trying to kind of use them now. This was kind of just a little thing I did on a map, some stickers and whatnots, and did a little, that's like a little feather there. And this is pretty. Another one of those little 1-inch circles. And this is a botanical card. And that I got from somebody, a digital. I have bought so many digitals, and then I don't use them for a couple of years, and I don't know where they come from. Edith Holden paper here. This is that Well-Loved Journals, and this came from Paper Cameo. She has the most prettiest envelopes, and I like to kind of leave them open sometimes, so that way you can write inside there. And then that's just a paper that I had tea dyed and coffee dyed up. It's got a bird on it. And this is a real pretty postcard. I think that came from the Graphic Fairy too. Stuck in there. But you can see again, I put some transfers on there, and let's see what this is. I think it's another fold out. Yep, another fold out. Good write on that. This is really pretty. I love that taupe color. I think that's so pretty with that kind of blue, the different color blues. And this is one of those first day issued envelopes, 1982. I've been trying to collect some of these, and this one's Oklahoma. So pretty. I think they're so pretty. I didn't collect stuff back then, so I absolutely love those. And I think I had, and then I did a little collage up with that lady down there. And I love the little touch of red birds. And here's another one of those cigar little trade cards. I guess that's what they are, trade cards. Isn't that pretty though? I just love that paper. And all I did, like I said, was use these pieces of paper and glued them down or taped them down. And this right here comes out. You can actually use this on something. Be really pretty on a book page, or if you wanted to make a bird book or just anything. Do a collage up. I thought this was pretty. There's another one here, similar to the one on the front. And It's a fold out there, and I think this comes out too. That's little, some kind of tropical birds. Isn't that pretty? And this is a vintage postcard. And then the last page, another one of those pretty postcards. And on the back. And then this has just got the pretty seam binding ribbon on it. All right, what I'm going to do is set this to the side, and I'm going to show you the buttons stuff. Lots of little buttons you can use, and or put them in a bowl. That's what I do a lot of times. I put them in bowls or little glass jars. I think they're so pretty all together. And then this has I love this paper clip. And then I put one of those bulb pins on there, and it's got some charms. And then that turned out cute. Another postcard. And this has just got a whole bunch of ephemera pictures in there, postcards, vintage bird book. This is actually a trade card. I thought that was pretty. And then I made this and sewed it down, so that's a neat little thing. Bingo card. And another one of Nicola. I'm not real for sure. Oh my gosh, my wax thing fell off. I'll have to re-glue that down. I don't know why that didn't stay on. I actually think I put it on with some hot glue. And I made this this little butterfly card. I thought it turned out really pretty. But I'd rather things quit working when I'm at home than when I send something off. But that's an easy fix. I'll put that back on there and glue it down. Use some different glue. Evidently that glue wasn't very good. All right, let me show you this. Here is a couple of these beautiful rosettes. Some, I can't remember the name of these. I just said it a while ago. And these are kind of, some of those are vintage. This is a bunch of just different stuff you can make with collages. And this is a heart cut out of vintage quilts. And I just trying to put a bunch of different stuff in here that I thought somebody could use or just keep it together. You know, I decorate using these in my bedrooms and just leave them in there wrapped up. I thought this was so pretty. Beautiful lace. And this has got Tigger, and this has got Winnie the Pooh stuff on there. But a whole bunch of, if you're into slow stitching, some of this could really be used, you know, to slow stitch or embroidery around. But it's kind of got the greens and the blues, different tone. That's got a little cat on it. I think that was a curtain. But bunch of different fabrics there, so I'll be sending that. So anyway, I thank y'all so much for hanging out with me, and like I said, I'm trying to get back in the swing of things, but it's just not working out too good. But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching, and y'all have a blessed day.